Hello, I'm Tom Morgan, Microsoft MVP and Community Reporter for Microsoft Ignite 2019. I'm joined today by Siunie Sutjahjo. Siunie, I'll let you introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do.
Hi, my name is Siunie Sutjahjo. Some of you may already know me from working on the call quality dashboard for the last year. So I was at the Ignite last year, introducing some of the new concept that we were working on. But finally this year we are able to release it.
Okay, super. And you made some interesting, well, you've had some sessions yesterday, and you and the team made some really interesting announcements over the course of the week about CQD, and I'm wanting the name now is Advanced CQD. Is that right?
That is correct.
So how is that different from CQD people know about before?
So we make a lot of improvement with new features and new methodologies with this new release of CQD. We actually changed the backend. We changed not only the backend all the way through the front end, right? And the concept of the delivering reports as well. So for example, the new advanced CQD is near real time. So what we are making an improvement, it's a huge improvement, and call out for like the data pipeline team as well. It's because of the collaboration, we are able to deliver our call record within 30 minutes in average, and our IT admin can reap the progress when they're making a change on the configuration of their Wi-Fi or something. They can actually take a look at the impact for better or worse. They can see the information. The same thing with the help desk, right? So this make it like even more strong, because like not only like you can see the information and say like about you, Tom Morgan, that's complaining. As you can see here, like if you're feeling like hot, then everybody else in here, also in this room, feel also hot because it's Orlando, right? So it's the same thing when you're complaining and call the help desk that you have a problem. In general, there are other people who are suffering the same thing or complaining about the same thing. And since CQD is a tool to bring the trend and being able to see like the cluster of like people who are experiencing the same, we're bringing like the help desk scenario of Microsoft Teams even further with these additional capabilities of being able to go into the zoom into the user level.
Okay. Yeah, that's really cool, and that's the more data, the more real time, all that stuff just helps people make better decisions and fight those fires. And that's really interesting what you said about if one person's having it, maybe others are having it. It's funny, I'm probably the only hot person in this room because I really wanted to talk to you before you left, and I've just I power walked 15 minutes in the humidity and then got in an Uber and then to get here. So yeah, it's funny. So you're going to look amazing, and I'm just like anyway. So what are the most kind of common problems that you see organisations having when it comes to kind of poor Teams calls and poor Teams experiences?
I think when you're talking about the common problem, it's actually the same thing as what I mentioned earlier. Like what is the experience by one person, it's usually replicated by others as well. So for example, even at home, right? Like sometimes you use your cell phone trying to talk to somebody, or even like this is like I'm talking about the LTE or watching something within your own house. It's not always you have a good reception because of the way your house is built, because of this the cement block that's being put in the middle of the room or something like that. That's why you actually need to put like a repeater or to make the Wi-Fi signals stronger, right? And that is only like for you watching like movie or doing something else, right? When you take the same analogy to a company, a deployment, it's very similar. So there is a lot of this hotspot that we need to help our tenant admin to figure out like where is the weakest point. Maybe like if we add more access point in here, it will help our customer. So I think if you take a look at those kind of like nuances, probably similar to like the real life. What we are bringing here is the same kind of concept and methodology and way of thinking about, yes, if I'm trying to, where is the location? What is the problem? The problem is like, oh, okay, it's weak Wi-Fi. Okay, then we can actually put a repeater.
Got it. Yes, that makes sense. Now, I mean, CQD has been around a long time. We had CQD when we had, Skype for Business and on-prem. Yeah, absolutely. And now that's sort of moved to Teams. Is it the same CQD, or is it and what's that been like? Because the whole back end has changed. What's that been like working with a sort of a back end, like a core that's changing all the time?
So the back end can change, the core can change, but the methodology and what we are, the fundamental of what CQD is bringing is always remain the same, which is we are trying to showcase the systemic issues that happening within your organization. So, for example, you also see like the example that I mentioned earlier, like, oh, if you're having an issue, probably other people also have an issue. That's the systemic issues. The second one is like, if you see the trending, like something is aging, like you can also see based on like the performance, right? Which is, that's also something that people watch. Say like, for example, within the building, even in my house, my router gets like age. So I can see like once in a while I have to reboot, and then now it becomes like more frequently. Okay, it's time to get a new one. So those are the things, same methodology that CQD is still bringing in, which is we are trying to show you the systemic methodology, systemic data, and systemic issues within your organization, and then you can use that information to further to work with your network admin and try to come up with a solution to fix it.
Got it. And so people do that, they access that via Power BI, and they can kind of use that to see that, and they can change how Power BI looks and works for them, and that all makes sense. And there's also some kind of additional capabilities in terms of AI and sort of machine learning and stuff, I think that you kind of, it's being added and being talked about.
Yeah, but I do want to talk a little bit about the Power BI before we talk about that. So the Power BI, so we have introducing to our customers some of the Power BI capabilities, and some of this Power BI report is available in the CQD portal. We are currently on preview. We are enabling for a few of the customers, and because and through the embedded Power BI, we get a lot of feedback. We can actually generate more reports. If you, like somebody actually asked me, hey, can we have a mobile report? We actually have it in like a week. We put it in our portal. We can actually get like feedback on like, hey, how's our mobile report is available. So that's one step that we take, that shipping the embedded Power BI. And not only that, like if our customer like that particular type of reporting, they can actually build it themselves through the Power BI desktop. And once you actually have the Power BI desktop, and if you watch my session yesterday with Accenture, they actually include the Power BI desktop inside the Teams channel, and they make it their own admin workflow. So basically, like they will tag you, Tom, get on it. There is like a spike in London, and then you can say like, right on it, boss. And then and when you're already fixing it, you can actually respond to it. So imagine that like you are building your own help desk Power BI, which we are actually also giving you as a CAN report, and then your user actually hit you in Teams channel, and then you can actually take a look at everything. Your report is over there, and then you can get back to that person directly as well. And this is like so smooth, like you don't have to move around. We are leveraging the collaboration functionality within Teams itself to make your work life at work more effective. That's what our CQD mission is, to make the IT admin works effectively dealing with today's issue.
Got it. Yeah, that totally makes sense. And people can go and check your sessions for more information as well.
Yes. And the blog.
and the blog. Yeah, absolutely. And is this coming to all tenants now? Is it generally available? Is it coming soon? What's the timeline?
Like right now, like my Accenture, sorry, Accenture is already like using it right now. They are using the REST API, which is the stopgap that we are providing to before our direct query is ready. But our direct query is in preview. I just announced it yesterday, and for customers who are interested in trying of our direct query for Power BI, you can send me a note, and I will actually try to accommodate with your interest. So I forgot to answer your question related to the machine learning. So with the more data that you have, and then the reporting capability that we are investing. So we're not talking about just adding the EUII data, but we are also changing our concept of like streams, total streams count to total audio call session now. That's so you can see per calls instead of just per session. So it's huge. Like our data just grows tremendously, especially with a lot of high cardinality data like start time and end time and user ID. So with that, we actually still like on the journey for adding more, like PSTN data, our CVI, which is like a conference video interrupt data, is also like in CQD, advanced CQD, and because of that, like the more data, the more time you have to sit down and trying to figure out and investigate. The power of machine learning will bring you faster. So I know that whatever we are trying to solve today is something that you can solve even a year ago. It's just more painful, like something that takes like 2-3 weeks because of the data latency and the tools that you had at that time. Now you can probably get it done in hopefully like in an hour or something like that, especially like if your company is as big as Microsoft that has like 650 more buildings and it's it's spread across the world. But if that takes probably like few hours, right? But with the machine learning, you can run the algorithm and then you can find it like, oh, okay, exactly this is like the building in Charlotte in second floor and this is the subnet. That is the power of machine learning and will bring you there.
Yeah, no, totally makes sense. That's really good, and that's very exciting. I could talk to you all day about this, but I'm also aware you have a flight you need to go and catch, so I think we should wrap it up. Siunie, thank you ever so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Tom, and thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for running around. So you can see here, he's in t-shirt, and I am cold because it's the hotel lobby is freezing.
Yeah, I'm not freezing. Yeah, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.